Build-A-Boat, we use illegal building techniques all the time, using blocks for things you're not supposed to. But today, we're using a technique so illegal, you might just get the cops called on you. So the star of today's video is actually going to be the sign block. Honestly, not used all that often in a lot of builds. Most people never use this block because all it really allows you to do is type some text like, I know, text. And sometimes, if you're really crazy, you might just throw in an emoji. But today, we're going to be taking these blocks to their absolute maximum potential. We're going to be building custom builds that would be impossible without this block. Now, of course, putting a poop emoji in a sign is pretty funny. But when you actually go through the list of all the emojis that exist, there is a lot of useful ones. Like this one. Like this one. The tree emoji. This allows us to go in right here, put in a tree, which looks pretty crappy, but guys, let me show you what I'm about to do with it. This right here is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, when I actually make this all invisible, as you guys can see, we actually have a tiny 3D bush, which you can use for decoration or all kinds of other stuff. Or what about this thing? An absolutely gorgeous flower, unlike anything I've ever seen in Build-A-Boat. Now, let me explain to you exactly how you can build this. But quick question, do you like having fun and building the craziest things? Because if you do, I've got just the game for you. Rec Room. It's the best place to build and play games with your friends from all around the world. Chat, hang out, and explore millions of player-created rooms, or build a brand new one to share with me and many others. Rec Room is free to play and cross-platform with iPhone, iPad, Android, PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and Oculus. And now also available on PC at the first link down in the description. You can create your own character to show off your trip, find any challenging, fun, or even straight-up weird games made by the creators, or build your very own. Try out the Maker Pen to design and build anything you can think of, from boats to tanks, or even entire worlds. Join me in the Rec Room community and be welcome to a fun place for people from all walks of life. Join the club by using my link down below to download Rec Room today. And once more, thank you so much to Rec Room for sponsoring this video. I genuinely love this game. All right, so let me pull back the curtain and show you exactly what this thing really is. Yes, guys, it's pretty much the exact same thing we built earlier with the tree, but instead we actually have an extra set of signs. So all this is, as you guys can see right here, I've got a sign with a flower on it. When I only have one of these layers, of course, it looks pretty cool. But when you, yeah, it's not really much of an effect. I mean, you got a beautiful flower here. There's absolutely nothing there. It doesn't really look 3D, but that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone this sign. You can, of course, also place another one if you don't have the clone tool, but it's just easier this way. We're going to clone it and rotate this 90 degrees. Oh, whop, just like so. Now, when I make both of these invisible, what you will be able to see is now we can see the flower on this side and this side. We have just created an image you can see from both sides. Of course, that's not fully done yet. All right, then next up, we're going to go in right here with our clone tool, and we're going to clone both of these one more time. Of course, while you're doing this, it's constantly going to pop up the menus, which is kind of annoying, but it's all right. You just X them out. Then we're going to rotate this 90 degrees, just like so. And then if you want to go absolutely crazy, you can even clone them extra times and give them like different rotations. Like, I don't know, set this to 45, just like so. And as you guys now can see, we pretty much now have a bunch of different 2D flowers. But when we actually move all of these inside of one another is when the magic truly happens. That is all of those flower pieces in the same block. Now we go ahead, make this invisible and collision off, and we have ourselves a beautiful flower. Of course, the actual stem is just simply a stem. Now I went ahead and got this flower emoji from the Emojipedia, which is pretty much an encyclopedia for emojis. They have literally every single one of them, as you guys can see. That's the one I used, but you can use any one you can think of. I mean, the rose would look sick. Let me just paste this in real quick. All right, that should be all of them. Let's see. That right there is an actual rose. That is so crazy, man. Now, guys, what I recommend you do is that if you have a cool idea, you go on the website and you just look up whatever you can think of. I mean, honestly, they really do have pretty much everything. And yeah, you could just go ahead, copy it into Build-A-Boat because not all of them are allowed. For example, this water splash emoji, which I thought would make for a great waterfall, is actually censored, which is quite annoying. So make sure that you check beforehand before you make a build. Planning with all of these signs and stuff. But what if I told you that this is nowhere near the maximum potential that that this glitch really has. That's just a little flower. What if I told you you can actually build humongous trees unlike anything that would be possible in Build-A-Boat? What if we looked up a leaf? All right, we got a couple different variations. We got a maple leaf, a fallen leaf, a leaf fluttering in the wind, which would actually make for a great emoji to pretty much use in any tree build. Before we decide which one of these we're going to use, let's actually throw them into Build-A-Boat to see what they look like. So the maple leaf just turns into a Canadian flag. Not very useful. All right, falling leaves. Now those actually look quite nice. All right, just for the fun of it, I'll throw in the 4-leaf clover. I think it could actually make for a good build. Now this right here is our entire selection. We've got lettuce, a little twig, which actually looks quite nice. We have a clover, a falling leaf, another clover. I don't know why there's 2 clovers. We got like the autumn leaves and the maple leaf. Now, I think the one that I'll go with is actually going to be this leaf right here, the twig. For anyone wondering, you can just look up leaf and it's right there. It's called an herb. Or, I don't know why, but it's an herb. But I think it makes for a perfect tiny detail to any tree you can think of. I mean, here, let me actually quickly make a tree so I can demonstrate this. All right, there you go. There you have the trunk. Let's figure out the height of this tree. I think something like that looks about right. All right, there you go. Now, first things first, I want to go ahead and right away use our illegal building technique. What we can go ahead and do right away, we can like just add little tiny details to the tree itself by just, you know, putting that in there. I mean, look at that already. That's so weird. Like, that's unlike anything you ever see on a tree. Okay, I gotta match those colors though. All right, that's closer. Look at that. Oh my god, man. I can already tell you I absolutely love this. It's always fun to just build in ways that you haven't done before. Like, oh, I love it. And yeah, we can just kind of rotate this around the tree. Maybe a little sunlight that right there. All right, now let's fix things up. Now that right there is already tree with a whole bunch of detail, but we're gonna take it to the next level. I'm gonna go ahead and take this leafy green right here. It's supposed to just be like a random vegetable. Not even any specific vegetable, a random vegetable. And we're going to turn this into a beautiful, beautiful tree. All right, so I'm just gonna start building the top of this tree, actually right over here. Just makes it a little bit easier to not have to deal with the other signs. But let's go ahead and just do this. So we're gonna clone this a bunch of times. And what we can do every single time we clone it, we just slightly move things so that they're just like in a different position. And what we're doing right now is we're trying to simulate the look of an actual tree. Now, for some reason, what I'm building right now is starting to look more like a palm tree. Actually doing this, guys, isn't all that difficult. You got to just keep cloning, keep adding to it, and kind of just keep checking over your work to make sure that you're going in the right direction. Oh my god. That's actually starting to become very like ball-like. That's what I'm going for. All right, let's see. Let's see what we have right here. Okay, maybe I went a little too crazy with the leaves. I feel like we can work with this though. If I just clean it up just a little bit, yeah, we can work with that. And it actually it's like it kind of animates itself. That's so cool. All right, so that right there is going to be one part of the tree. So we're going to go ahead and clone this just to make sure we have a save. Okay, let's see if we can do this. And boom, there it is. Now, if I'm not mistaken, right now, we should have ourselves a tree on both sides. All right, so in this block right here, we have pretty much exactly our leaf. Now, what I'm going to do, go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead right here and actually start cloning this around quite a bit. So I'm going to say, okay, I want to have another one around about here. And then I also want to have one at the top right here, kind of like a cartoon tree. A little something like so. Let's check it out. Come on. Oh, yes. Wait, that actually looks really good. Okay, by the way, this is a lot of signs. I might have gone a little overboard. I don't quite know, to be honest. I just want to fill up that one little gap right there. Oh, that's it. That's the one. And it's on both sides. It actually worked. Oh, I didn't even check if it was on both sides before. Oh, let's go. Okay, now we're going to clone this. Funny. Actually, we're going to have to move this out of the way before we mess something up. Get rid of that thing. Okay, I have 3,000 signs left. I should have plenty. I should have enough to do this. Okay, we're going to clone it. Okay, it's slowly doing it. Oh, I don't know if the game is liking this many leaves. Oh, okay, wait. It did it. Okay, I'm going to save this before anything. All right, we might have gone a little bit overboard, it seems. Yeah, the game crashed. I think I've just put too many leaves in one spot for this thing to handle. Yeah, I'm just going in right now, deleting a bunch of these leaves. There's just a couple too many of them. All right, if everything went according to plan, we should now be able to rotate it without crashing. Ah! Yes! Oh, I did it! Oh my god. Okay, so after a long time testing, what I've realized is that actually to make this thing work when it comes to the duplicating, you might want to lower your graphics settings, because the game doesn't really like this thing. Oh my goodness me. Okay, let's save this. Let's see if it's even possible to clone this one more time. Okay, nah, I think we reached the limit. Okay. Okay, I think we got it. So guys, what I will say is that if you actually want to build a tree with this technique, you might want to start a little bit smaller and use a little bit less signs, but hey, it is still really, really cool. I gotta say, if I were to change anything about my tree right now, it would be the trunk. I think the trunk kind of sucks, but the top part looks amazing. I'm really, really happy with how this turns out. And honestly, I think one of the best uses for this glitch is using it to add these beautiful flowers into your world. I mean, these aren't too laggy. The trees might just be a little bit too much, guys. But if you haven't already, check out Rec Room. There is a link in the description. Please check it out. It's genuinely one of my favorite games. I play it all the time. You might even find me on the game, like, honestly. But yeah, I'll see you later, boys. Peace!